This is the first video for week 3 trigonometric functions. This is the first of 7 videos for week 3 and covers the radian measure. These videos are intended to help you to work through the online content for week 3. We recommend that you watch this video with your pen and paper and pause at the relevant times to try the examples for yourself. Trigonometric functions. The radian measure and circular motion. So we have two commonly used units for measuring angles. We have degrees, where we have 90 degrees is a right angle. So here, 0 degrees, 90 degrees is our right angle here, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and around to 360 degrees. And we also have radians, where pi on 2 is a right angle. So here we have pi on 2, or half of pi. Here we have pi. We have 3 pi on 2, and here 2 pi. So here 0 degrees, 0 radians. We've worked these ones out. 90 degrees, pi on 2. 180 is pi, 270 is 3 pi on 2, and 360 degrees is 2 pi. So between these ones here, we know, well, if 90 degrees here is pi on 2, and there's 0. If we split that in half, here we have 45 degrees, half of 90 degrees. And here we have pi on 2 divided by 2, or pi on 2 times by a half. Pi times 1 is pi, 2 times 2 is 4, so we have pi on 4 for 45 degrees. If we take this up here, and we're going to break it here, we've got 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees here. So our 90 degrees is 3 lots of 30 degrees. So 30 degrees is 90 degrees divided by 3. So now we can go, well, we know 90 degrees is pi on 2, and we want to divide that by 3. Or here our pi on 2, we want to times by 1 on 3. Pi times 1 is pi, 2 times 3 is 6. So 30 degrees becomes pi on 6. 60 degrees is 2 of these. So we have pi on 6 multiplied by 2. So pi times 2 is 2 pi, and 6 times 1 is 6. If we divide by 2, we get pi, divide by 2, 3. So pi on 3 for 60 degrees. So any size angle can be converted between units using the following rule. So to change degrees to radians, we multiply by pi on 180. And then to change our radians to degrees, we multiply by 180 divided by pi. So here, the one that we're actually working towards is what's at the top of our fraction. So working towards degrees, we have degrees at the top. Working towards radians, we have pi at the top. And the one we're working from, we have in our divide. So divided by 180 to radians, and here divided by pi. So we have our examples here. We want to convert to radians. So here, what we want to do, 30 degrees, we want to multiply by pi on 180. So we have 30 pi on 180. We can cancel a 0. We have 3 pi on 18. If we divide by 3, we get 1, and divide by 3, we get 6. So we get pi on 6. For our next one, here we're going to do exactly the same thing, times by pi on 180. We'll take a shortcut here at the start. We'll cancel our zeros out. So we have 12 pi on 18. We look, okay, both of these can divide by 3. We divide by 3, we get 4. And 18, we divide by 3, and we're going to get 6. So we go, okay, well, we could have gone further than this. We could have actually divided by 6 to start with. So 12 divided by 6 gives us 2. 18 divided by 6 gives us 3. So we have 2 pi on 3. 720 degrees. We're going to multiply by pi on 180. Cancel our zeros. We get 72 pi on 18. We've got 4 times 18. So we get 4 on 1 becomes 4 pi. A little bit more complicated with 55 degrees. We multiply by pi on 180 here. So we get 55 pi on 180. So we look, okay, we can divide both of those by 5. Divided by 5, we're going to get 11 pi. And here, 180 divided by 5, we're going to get 36 here. And 11 and 36 we can't take any further. Our next one here we have pi, 140 times pi on 180. Cancel our zeros out. We're getting 14 pi on 18. Okay, they both divide by 2. We get 7 here on 9. 7 pi on 9. Okay, so for part B, we want to convert to degrees. So here we've got pi on 5. And what we want to do is multiply by 180 on pi. So our pi cancels out. And we end up with 180 divided by 5. We work that through and we get 36 degrees. So next we get 2 pi on 3. We're going to multiply by 180 on pi. So here our pi's cancel out. So here we get 2 times 180 is 360 divided by 3, and that's 120 degrees. Here we've got negative pi on 6. We times by 180 on pi. Here, so we're going to end up with negative, our pi's cancel out, negative 180 divided by 6 here. We're going to end up with negative 30 degrees. Now we come to some more complicated ones. So we have 1.7. So here we're going to say, okay, 1.7, we're going to times 180 divided by pi. And this time we can't just cancel the pi's out of the equation. So we get our calculator out. We want to put 1.7 multiplied by 180 divided by pi. So put that into my calculator there. And equals, here I'm getting 97.4. We put that into degrees. So here we get 97 degrees, 24 minutes. Okay, and so for our last one, we have 0.25 times 180 divided by pi here. So here we get our 0.25 times here 180 divided by pi. So again, we work through, and here we get 14 degrees and 19 minutes.